This is something that I have not looked that much into, but it sounds plausible. It sounds about right to me. So think about this, okay? The end of Dishonored, right? The very end, Billy either kills or frees the outsider. Either one. Either way, she basically says,
"The outsider is no more, and with that, the world will change in ways none of us can know. But the void is still there, echoing just beyond what you can see, and there's no one left to say who will and won't be touched by its magic."
The outsider is gone, right? And we don't know what the void will now do. We don't know. Because there's no one there to control it anymore. So we just don't know what's gonna happen. Right? Fast forward years later, right? And there's an anomaly at Black Reef that a bunch of the cult discovers and ends up trapped in a time loop. But where did the anomaly come from? Because I'm thinking the anomaly comes from the void. It's like, my theory is that Black Reef is a place where the real world, like the physical world, meets the void. And that's how Wenji was able to create the slabs. Because, well, we've seen those exact powers being used by people who have the outsider's mark. So it makes sense that the slabs are made from the void. So that essentially connects Dishonored and Deathloop. This is where it gets more complicated. There's a strange, like, end of the world feel to Deathloop, if that makes sense. It's like, you know, as the day goes on, more and more stuff is wrecked, almost because it doesn't matter. Because it's the end of the world anyway. I don't know, maybe that's just because they're like, it doesn't matter because it'll just loop anyway, so everything will be fixed in the morning. Maybe that, but I don't know, it just feels like a weird end of the world situation. If that's the case, then, well, what's ending the world? If we're worried about the world ending, then why is the world ending? The last thing you see in Deathloop, after Colt has finally destroyed the loop and Juliana shifts away, what do you see? A red sky. But not just like red sky. It's like, it's swirling and it's kind of scary to look at. But then what is this? What is this red sky? Well, what do we see in Prey? At the end of Prey, Alex shows the player what the world looks like.
This is the world today.
A city covered in the neural networks of the Typhon. And from the ground, it would look like that orangey red substance is in the sky. So here's my big unifying grand theory. The loss of the outsider means that the void is now unstable. I don't know what's going to happen to it, which means that the Typhon have been able to grow and expand. I think Eon discovered this. They knew that the Typhon were coming, so they locked themselves in a time loop, thinking that this will save them from the inevitable destruction of everything from the Typhon. While they're all locked away in the time loop, the Typhon come in, destroy everything, take over Earth, and the events of Prey happen. So this means that the events of both Deathloop and Prey are entirely the consequence of Billy freeing or killing the outsider. Which then also explains why that cult in Dishonored 2 were so determined to create the outsider. Anyway, that's just my big unifying theory, and it's probably false. I'm sure somebody will be like,
Well, that doesn't make any sense because actually in this one they indicated that you're wrong, so shut up.
but it's fun to think about. I don't know, I like it. So, it's good stuff. I like these games. How it all ties into Arx Fatalis, I don't know. I've never played that game and I don't care. So,